Ave Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. A demonic who could not speak was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the mute man spoke. The crowds were amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "He drives out demons by the prince of demons." Jesus went around to all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness. At the sight of the crowds, his heart was moved with pity for them, because they were troubled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest." The Gospel of the Lord. If we go back to the prophet Hosea, it seems like God is in a very bad mood today. The people that Hosea is speaking to, they're filled with self-sufficiency. They want to be in charge of their own lives, and now they're being left to their own devices. Not because God doesn't want them, but because they have chosen not to respect him and worship him and have a relationship with him. They have no interest in God, nor of his plan for life. So now they reap of the fruits of a life in their self-sufficiency. Indeed, like little children, they just can't take care of themselves, and they don't even know it. Yet, when we see in yesterday's readings from Hosea, it's not that God doesn't want to help them. God actually desires and thirsts for them to come to him as his dear children. As he said yesterday, as the prophet said yesterday, "I will allure her. I will lead her into the desert and speak to her heart." If that isn't an invitation to draw close to God, I don't know what is. And so the people of Israel are at a point, not where God is in a bad mood, but where they are petulant children. On the other hand, here in the gospel, by contrast, a demonic who cannot speak is brought to Jesus. This reveals a community intercession. The community is harvesting. They're bringing about the harvest because they're bringing this man to Jesus. He doesn't go to Jesus. He is brought to Jesus. So there's concerned and charitable people involved here. This is all the hallmark of the Sacred Heart opening up to mercy. This mute man is part of the harvest that Jesus is looking for. And these people who are involved in bringing him to Jesus, this is also the harvesters that Jesus is praying for. They have opened their hearts to the mercy of God, and he is there. Even carrying their baggage, he is still coming to them because they desire. He finds them irresistible. It's interesting that he goes around to all the towns and villages. He teaches, he proclaims the gospel, he cures every disease and illness. He doesn't first say, did you go to confession? Nothing wrong with confession, by the way. But the effort of his mercy is what prompts them to this contrition that they need so they can come to him. And he's reaching out and they're responding. So as a result, this demoniac is pulled out of the grips of Satan because somebody cared and people cared for him. They opened their hearts and revealed the heart of Christ to this man. Where there is a thirst and a desire for mercy, the door of the Sacred Heart of Christ opens, and the flood of mercy from his pierced side becomes a deluge upon us. Come then and receive this Sacred Heart mercy.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia.